Hello, today we're going to be working on the 2016 Prius from Toyota. We're going to be draining and filling the cooling system. So before we start, we are going to need proper safety apparel. You're going to want safety glasses, clothes that are not overly loose, and gloves. And then you're also going to want to wear like no electric conducing kind of bands or apparel, so like no metal bands, no wedding rings, nothing like that. Once you're dressed for success, we're going to want to get probably a funnel, something to drain the coolant in, and to inspect your coolant. You get some kind of tools, but we're just going to use a syringe with a little beaker or a little funnel. And you can use a 10mm socket and a flathead screwdriver. We're going to need to use that to get rid of the splash guard on the bottom of the car. We've already removed that, so we're not going to be showing how to remove that in this demonstration today. But if you're starting from scratch, you're going to want to bring a flathead screwdriver and that 10mm socket. Cut it off. So there are two coolant tanks on this on the Prius, or on the 2016 Prius. The one on the right, one on the left. The one on the right has some electrocution problems, or electricity problems, so we're not going to be bothering with that. But we can do all that we need to do with the left one. So we're going to put some gloves on. And you can remove this, make sure your car is not running. This is the reservoir tank cap, right? Make sure you inspect it, nothing wrong there. Grab your syringe, suck a little bit of it, inspect it, make sure it's not too coarse or rough. You can probably want to remove your glove, at least that's what I'm going to do, and put a little bit of this on your finger. You want to feel it in between your fingers. If it's too coarse or rough or grainy, that signifies that you have a radiator problem, or that that your radiator metal is breaking, right? So in our case it is correct and it's fine. Put it back in. Reinstate the cap. Now we're gonna go below the vehicle. All right, now that we are below the vehicle, on the driver's side, you see this black metal ridge. There's a yellow petcock you can see right here, right? You're gonna want to hand loosen that and have your drain pan below. In our case, we're not going to be loosening it or draining it because we do not want to damage this. But if you want to loosen this, just loosen it with your hand until it starts leaking to an adequate amount. You don't want to completely remove it in most cases. Be very careful with this, as when if you break it, you can have a very hard time finding another one. So be very careful with it, and then when you're reinstalling it or retightening it after all your coolant has leaked out, you're going to want to really only get it to the resistance, like tighten it to resistance, and then just push a little bit more, right? And then you're good, right? You don't need to torque all the way through. You'll be fine. Once you have torqued your petcock sufficiently, then you can go back up to the top. I'm going to explain the next part.
Got it.
The end.
Oh, wait.
Now, after you've drained it, since we have not drained it, we're not going to need it, but you grab a funnel, just put it into your left cooling tank, right, and fill it up to the fill line, right? And once you get it to the fill line, you're going to want to put your car into maintenance mode. Now put it into your maintenance mode. To put the Prius into maintenance mode, you're going to want to press the power button twice. And then you're going to press fully on the gas pedal twice. After you've pressed on your gas pedal, you're going to want to press on the brake pedal and put your car into neutral. Then again twice on the gas pedal. And then put your car into park, twice more on the gas pedal, and now you are in maintenance mode. Now, to make your coolant cycle, you're going to want to put the car into ready on mode. To do this step on the brake pedal, step on the brake pedal and press the power button. And this will turn on the engine to let the coolant flow. In our demonstration, we're not going to be visually demonstrating turning the car on. It's important to note that there's no radiator cap on this model Prius. The radiator cap has been replaced by two coolant tank system. The inspection, for inspection purposes, you want to inspect both of the coolant tank caps. But in our case, we have electrical problems on the driver's side of the hood, so we're not going to be tampering with that. But you can go through all of your coolant or drain and fill inspection criteria through the left side, as long as there's no problem like with coolant leaks or anything in your coolant system. But if you do have coolant leaks and stuff, you're going to want to have to inspect both of them. Inspect your radiator hoses, inspect the engine and the jackets and all that. If there's a problem with the coolant, then, and it's coarse or rough, it can be a problem with your radiator, and you should inspect your radiator. If you can get a lot of information also on the coolant tank caps. If you see any kind of if it has any kind of pressure problems, or if it has any kind of if it's dirty or whatnot, that can tell you a lot about your coolant system. But in our case, none of that seems to be apparent. So for our Prius, our coolant seems to be in a pretty good spot.